Hey guys, Professor Andrew Buckley here from Cavalo Martial Arts in Keswick, here with my good friend Patrick from Academix, Coach Patrick. So, Coach Patrick's been showing us some arm bars the last few weeks. So this week he's going to show us another one. This one's a little bit more common than, let's say, like brand new white belts. But again, sometimes you see it at all levels. You just get in a panic and you gotta get out and you're gonna just risk it all. So certainly not a good armbar defense, but it's something you're gonna come across from people that don't do jiu-jitsu, or if it's a Hail Mary. I'm gonna get tapped, so I'm throwing all caution away. So you ready?
All ready.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so this is going to be the last video of this series, and one thing I fully believe in is I love to teach several what we would consider to be easy techniques, and I love to chain them together to make them one huge spider web of entanglement for our opponents. Okay, and this is what really makes jiu-jitsu fun for me. It's what makes it fun for kids, and it's what makes it fun for beginners at any age. So I'm also going to connect this beginner sequence. I'm going to connect it right into what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, okay? So again, what we're going to do this time is we're going to start in side control again, okay? So from here, I'm in side control. I'm reaching for Professor Andrew's spine, and then as I trap his leg, I'm going to turn to my side, and I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm going to drive my shoulder to his face so that he cannot move before getting into the mount. I'm going to pinch my knees and ride up to the armpit. And now, if you remember last week, we were going to serve, because now our opponent's going to want to push and bump, so we're going to serve and control. Serve, serve, serve. Once this happens here, okay, the first thing we're going to do is set up the Americana. We're going to go 2-on-1. Elbow goes to the head, okay? I create my paintbrush, and now it's super tight. And now this is called a paintbrush because I'm gonna paint the mat with Professor Andrew's hand. So I'm gonna move it down until it locks, and then I get the tap. Why do we start with the Americana in order to set up an armbar? Because once we do this, he's either gonna straighten his arm, I can transition to a straight arm lock, there's number one. Or he's gonna bump because I'm leaning this way, so he bumps, and then how he tries to block and drive his hand through, and now I can get into the Kimura grip or just an armbar, throw my leg over, and finish. Okay, so that's a tip for you guys. Always try to set up your easy submissions with even easier submissions. Use the easy submissions to get into a more complicated submission. Build your web, okay? Now, we're back in mount. Sometimes when we're surfing, okay, he's really tight here, so I don't have time to push his hands down. I only have time to keep surfing. Or he starts to really push me up by grabbing the lapel. So I like to call this the CPR. I'm gonna say save a life, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna have one arm over, one arm under, and we're gonna pivot just like this, keeping the pressure on the chest so that he can't move up. So I pivot as if I'm saving a life. Now I can trap the arm, sit into the armbar, pinching the knees so that he cannot escape. And then I don't even have to sit down. I can just pull the lever. Jackpot, okay? We call it a lever because what do you do at the casinos? You pull the lever and then it goes bing, 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 armbar, jackpot. Sorry, sir. Nope. Okay. One more time. Now you have a huge web. I'm in side control. I work my mouth, put the pressure. I start to serve. 2-on-1, Americana, 1. He straightens it out. I switch, 2. I go back. He starts to go to his side. It's the same pivot. If you notice, it's the same pivot, which I will show you the solo drill for. Lock the armbar. He now pushes up. Now I don't have time for the Americana, so now I push on the chest. I save a life. And here's where I'm talking about. You can go into the armbar here, but now look, I can also start leaning towards the hip. And this connects to weak number one. I lean towards the hip, so now Professor can't escape. Now I can move my shin behind his head, pinch, and finish. If he bends his elbow to turn this way, now I can sit and finish again. There's no need to sit into your armbar right away, especially if you're mounting your opponent. The mount is, if not the most powerful position from the top. And if you're in the mount position and you get into the armbar, I would recommend you stay on top, put pressure on your opponent, and try to finish without having to sit down and prevent stat passes or just someone scrambling out and then you having to fight just to get back into a better position. Solo drill? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, guys. So what I'm about to do right now is going to look like sort of a floor dance. Okay, I'm going to look like a funky worm. This was taught to us by one of the greatest of all time, Professor Cobrinha. When we're in the side control here, okay, you can solo drill the side control entry to mount simply by opening your hip. Okay, there's a shadow here. You just step backwards, get into your mount, and then you serve. One more time. Open your hip, get into the mount, and you serve. After you serve, I save a life. And here's the pivot. Okay? So if this leg comes up, your body faces this way. If this leg comes up, your body faces that way. So from here, when you save a life and pivot, okay, make sure you're driving your palms into the ground. That simulates you having your palms on your opponent's chest so that they can't pop up. Now from here, you can lean into the S mount, sit into the armbar. Very easy. Come back up, get into the mount, serve. Save a life, pivot, lean into the S mount, armbar. Back to the S mount, back to the regular mount. Okay? Now with Pedro. How you doing, Pedro? I think he doesn't like me. This is the third week in a row I've been punishing him. So now, from here, okay, we serve. What I would recommend with your dummies, again, because it's dead weight, it's not like they're moving. This also is a really good practice to pinch. Look what happens when I pinch my knees. Pedro's arms come up. If you just sit like this, you can still drill the move, but now it's kind of like a dead weight that you're playing with. If you pinch, arms come up, and look what we have. Americana, and you can crank it as hard as you want. You can switch, crank it as hard as you want. And now obviously you need to move him so that you can pivot and go into the armbar. Don't forget to pinch your knees. Another really good tip for you guys, especially with grappling dummies, is pinch your knees so that he moves. You want him moving. You don't want him dead on the ground. You want to move and then pinch. Because what's going to happen is when you throw your arm bars against your opponent, that's how you get that body moving, because you're so tightly connected to them. Okay? And now the last one. Pinch. Save a life. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Okay, come back into the mount. Move it up. Save a life. Pivot. Forward to the mount. Notice how sometimes I stomp on the ground. It reminds me to do it. Pinch. Move the arm back. Throw your leg over. Finish the arm.
Awesome. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to Coach Patrick for coming down, showing us some of these nice arm bars that we can try. The next couple weeks, I'm going to be showing some armbar escapes. Hopefully you guys have been drilling them, hitting them with training partners. So now I'm going to go and show some options that we can help get us out of the situations. Okay, so stay tuned, keep watching, like, subscribe. If you would like a dummy, the link below. Coach Patrick can hook you guys up with some dummies if you guys are interested. So thanks for watching, guys.